Right now, a community shaken by a recent tragedy, now stepping up to support the ones impacted the most. You can also help them.
Also, a new Marquette Law School poll is out. A look at the new numbers, including a big jump for one of the Senate candidates.
And later, we continue our reality check into political ads, this time looking at attacks on gubernatorial candidate Tim Michael's stance on abortion. You're watching News 3 Now at 6.
We just are thinking about them.
A tight-knit neighborhood with families who've made a habit of looking out for one another are now doing whatever they can to support the children shaken by the loss of both of their parents. Today, police and the Dane County Medical Examiner's Office officially identified the couple. On Sunday, Jason Ray killed his wife, Jessica, before later taking his own life when he walked in front of a semi on the interstate.
The case is being described as a murder-suicide. Autopsy reports confirm Jessica was beaten and stabbed to death. Jason died from injuries sustained as a result of the crash. Our Catherine Merck joins us live after speaking with neighbors who are doing everything they can to support the family. Catherine?
Eric and Charlotte, today I spoke with several people who knew the Ray family. Even though they're shaken by the news of Sunday evening's events, their focus now shifts toward taking care of the children who are now left without their parents.
Incredibly difficult situation for all of them.
In Luke Hoffman's neighborhood, the families all look out for one another.
It's a very tight-knit neighborhood. It's a neighborhood where the kids play outside a lot, run around together. The families take care of each other.
That's what motivated him and other neighbors to organize a GoFundMe for the Ray children. The link says the kids are surrounded by so much love, but growing up after losing both parents will take a lot more.
We've received countless messages from friends and family of how they can help, and this was really the best way we thought we could, so we checked with the family and they said it was okay.
Sunday afternoon's tragedy, Jason Ray murdering his wife, then taking his own life on the freeway, left their neighbors also mourning a loss. This is Luke's way of helping the children of a family he's known quite well.
We were very close with the family, and our group of friends were very close. And like I mentioned before, we're all close, tight-knit community.
Perhaps in a time where it's needed most, this GoFundMe shows that this neighborhood is continuing to look out for each other.
We just are thinking about them and looking for ways we can help and support them in any way we can.
A link to help the family through a GoFundMe is available on our website right now at channel3000.com. Reporting live in Madison, I'm Catherine Merck with News 3 Now.
Catherine, thank you. And UW Health putting out a statement today, quote, "We are devastated by the news of this unspeakable tragedy, and our hearts are with the family and friends suffering this terrible loss. We urge the community to respect the privacy of all who are grieving and to show support through the fund established for the family if you are able," end quote.
Madison fire crews were delayed transporting crash victims to the hospital after a school bus caught fire with children on board last night. The two-vehicle crash happened on South Gammon Road early last night. One of the drivers was unresponsive and taken to a hospital. Two of the three people in the other car were also hospitalized. While crews were responding to the crash, a school bus full of middle school children pulled over nearby. Smoke was seen coming from the rear window. The bus was evacuated and the bus driver put out the fire. No students were injured.
3 Milwaukee officers are on administrative leave after a shootout last night that left a 40-year-old man dead. Police say they responded to reports of gunshots near 33rd and Cherry at about 9 last night when their squad car was hit with bullets. They say they got out and returned fire. One suspect was shot and killed. 2 others are still on the run. The 3 officers involved were not hurt. That investigation into the incident is ongoing. And Milwaukee police also are investigating after 4 people were shot early this morning. Officers found 3 men and a woman with serious injuries. 2 men and the woman are now in stable condition, but a 28-year-old man's condition is being labeled as grave. Officials said the circumstances that led to the shooting are under investigation. Police are seeking an unknown suspect.
An attorney for the family of the man who died after falling from a rising drawbridge in Milwaukee is opening an investigation into his death. 77-year-old Richard Dujardin and his wife were in Milwaukee for an event honoring their volunteerism when he fell to his death. A report states the couple was walking across the Kilbourne Bridge when it began to rise. Richard's wife was further ahead of him, and he tried to catch up but was not fast enough. He then tried to grab onto a side rail but lost his grip, falling 70 feet onto the pavement below. Attorney Jay Urban says there needs to be an independent investigation into the entire bridge system to truly get to the bottom of what happened.
You have the very authorities that operate these systems looking at these systems. They should at least be looking at the consultants, the vendors who advise them to install it this way. If we don't look at the entire system failure, then we're never going to look at it.
Urban also pointed out that they have yet to view footage from one video camera that overlooks the bridge. He claims there are other cameras in the area, but they only take still photos, not video.
Uw-Madison police are searching for a suspect who they say inappropriately touched and slapped people while riding on a scooter. Now take a good look at these pictures. Police said the incidents occurred on campus and in the downtown area. Anyone who sees the suspect is urged to contact University Police. Let's check your certified most accurate forecast now. Here's Julian Seawright. Julian?
Well, outside of holding on to just a little bit of moisture, it's a pretty nice day and going to be a nice evening on top of it. Now, as we take a look at how much cloud cover we've had, really not much at all. Any clouds that we were seeing early into the afternoon have pretty much dissipated as we've seen just drier air roll its way into the eastern side of southern Wisconsin for us. But as we take a look outside, we did see some hazy conditions, and that's from the wildfire smoke, which is plaguing the far western side of the United States. But temperatures themselves here in Madison have stayed rather stable into the lower 70s, and that's because of the easterly flow we've dealt with all day. It's really kept things cool. So 72 degrees was our high, which is normally around 74 degrees. So we're a tad below our normal temperatures. And as we take a look around southern Wisconsin, the 70s and upper 60s has been rather uniform, especially for the eastern side of southern Wisconsin, which has been onto the cooler side throughout the course of the day. Now, moisture, we have still hold on to just a bit of it, but nothing too uncomfortable, but the humidity is still there. Now, taking a look at tonight, we are looking for fog to start to develop because of that moisture that we're seeing, and on top of it, temperatures still not as cool as last night, but into the mid-50s. You can't really complain. But we'll talk about more of what else to expect for the back end of the work week in just a few moments. Until then, back to you guys.
Julian, thank you. The latest numbers in the race for Senate and governor show things are getting tighter. That's according to the latest Marquette Law School poll released today. Let's start with the United States Senate race, where Ron Johnson is ahead of Mandela Barnes by just a point. Thing to keep in mind here is that the margin of error in this poll is right around 5%. Still a big jump for Senator Johnson from last month when he was trailing Barnes by 7 points. The margin of error then was at 4 points. Now shifting to the race for governor, Tony Evers and Tim Michels are still locked in what is essentially a dead heat when you include the margin of error. For a full summary of the polls, you can head to channel3000.com. We continue our look at the political ads hitting the airwaves, this time on the issue of abortion.
There are a handful of similar ads running in TV markets around the state criticizing Tim Michels for his stance on abortion. Political reporter Will Keneally has this reality check.
We're taking a look at this ad airing in Madison.
First, we found out that radical Tim Michels supports Wisconsin's 1849 abortion ban.
That's true. Tim Michels says his stance mirrors that of the 1849 law, which only allows for abortions if the mother's life is at risk. Doctors who perform abortions would also be jailed under that law.
Now we found out his foundation funds a group working to outlaw birth control.
That's partly false. We found out that his foundation donated to branches of pro-life groups dedicated to doing outreach. But according to their websites, those branches don't lobby for changes in state law. Instead, they do things like create campus pro-life groups or train people to stand outside abortion clinics and dissuade people from going inside.
And his family foundation funds a group that uses cell phone data to track women if they go to abortion centers.
So that's true. The foundation is in his parents' name, but Michels is a trustee. That foundation donated funds to the Veritas Society. They offer a marketing strategy for conservative groups that will target pro-life ads to women considering abortions. Part of how they target those women is by using location data of women who travel to abortion clinics. So why run the ad? This was bought by a Democratic-aligned PAC, and abortion has been a key issue for Democrats this election. But where do Wisconsinites stand? A recent Marquette poll shows that most, 65% of Wisconsinites, think abortion should be legal in most or all cases. If you break that down by party, Michaels is squarely in the Republican pack. With this reality check, I'm Will Keneally.
And will be keeping a close eye on political ads, and we'll put them through our reality check during the election season. You can watch his past reports and keep an eye on future checks at channel3000.com. Coming up, a Middleton business helps Habitat for Humanity, and the latest on the Coats for Kids campaign.
Plus, volunteers with United Way in Rock County set to serve meals in their community for the first time since before the pandemic.
True loyalty doesn't come around often, but if you're lucky enough to earn it, it's on you to do everything in your power to hold on to it, to show that loyalty goes both ways. These people have helped build this place from the ground up, so we're doing whatever it takes to help secure their future.
Your mission, stand up to moderate to severe rheumatoid arthritis
or active psoriatic arthritis.
and take it on with Rinvoq.
Rinvoq is a once-daily pill that tackles pain, stiffness, swelling.
For some, Rinvoq significantly reduces RA and PSA fatigue. It can stop irreversible joint damage.
And Rinvoq can leave skin clear or almost clear in PSA. That's Rinvoq relief.
Rinvoq can lower your ability to fight infections, including TB, serious infections and blood clots, some fatal, cancers, including lymphoma and skin cancer, death, heart attack, stroke, and tears in the stomach or intestines occurred. People 50 and older with at least one heart disease risk factor have higher risks. Don't take if allergic to Rinvoq, as serious reactions can occur. Tell your doctor if you are or may become pregnant.
Ask your rheumatologist about Rinvoq relief. Rinvoq. Make it your mission. Learn how AbbVie could help you save on Rinvoq.
Dear Senator Johnson, living on a fixed income, it's a struggle. I paid into Social Security and Medicare every paycheck. So it was a slap in the face when you voted to weaken Medicare. That would increase out-of-pocket costs. And when you wanted to let Wall Street gamble with Social Security. Senator Johnson, you look out for yourself and your fat cat donors, but have forgotten about us. SMP is responsible for the content of this ad.
You're watching News 3 Now at 6.
Welcome back. The Coats for Kids campaign is still going strong, increasing yesterday's numbers. Right now, the latest total, 1,339 coats. And here's a reminder of how you can help. The Community Action Coalition says it needs kid-size winter coats, and their goal this year is to collect 5,000 of them. You can drop off coats at any area Clinky Cleaners locations right now through October 8th. Donations will be cleaned for free. If you don't have a used coat, here's another way to donate. Just go to channel3000.com/coats for kids. Click on the link to their Amazon wish list, where you will find a selection of new coats and accessories available for purchase.
Today marks the United Way Blackhawk Region's Day of Caring. The group kicked off the day with breakfast at ABC Supply Stadium. Organizers say 375 people showed up to grab a meal, and over 560 will volunteer for a project in the community. Volunteers headed out to 50 projects, including landscaping, planting, and helped the Salvation Army get ready to serve community meals for the first time since before the pandemic.
It gives volunteers a chance to get out of the office, roll up their sleeves, and feel really good about what it means to live united. And it also helps our nonprofit agencies accomplish important work that might have otherwise stayed on their to-do list or the rainy day list.
Now, this is the 10th anniversary of the United Way in the Blackhawk region. Over the last decade, the group has invested more than $20 million back into the area.
Today, Springs Window Fashions is helping give back to the community by hosting a Habitat for Humanity frame-up. The event took place at Springs Window Fashions headquarters in Middleton. More than 70 Springs employees helped build the walls and with financial donations. The future homeowner was also there helping build the house as part of her sweat equity.
We've never had a house before, especially being built from the ground. I've always been renting. As a single mom, it's a little difficult at times. So to have a house that I can call my own and I don't have to look for duplexes anymore or my rent's going to increase.
Right now, the foundation for the home is being dug, so the walls will fully go up in about a month.
Still ahead, some of the most famous toys have a chance to make it into this year's Hall of Fame. We'll show you the finalists and how the winners will be selected.
Plus, Wisconsin settles the debate on who has the best tasting water. Find out the winner and what's next for them.
Plus, could we see some thunderstorms on Friday night? Julian has the answer. Your complete forecast coming up.
It's Throwback Thursdays at Hy-Vee. This Thursday, buy one, get one free on a 2-entree Hy-Vee Chinese meal. And bakery fresh brownies or pumpkin bars, only $4.99. Thursday only. And visit HyVeeDeals.com for even more deals.
Do you feel safe? Mandela Barnes would eliminate cash bail, setting accused criminals free into the community before trial. Even with shootings, robberies, carjackings, violent attacks on our police. More than 300 murders last year alone. Yet Barnes has even supported defunding the police. Mandela Barnes, he stands with them, not us. Senate Leadership Fund is responsible for the content of this advertising.
The Labor Day sale at Steinhafel's Furniture and Mattress Superstores has been extended. Start with store-wide savings of 35 to 85%. Plus, take advantage of tons of bonus buys. And get big savings on all the best brands of mattresses. Save up to $600 on a Beauty Rest Black mattress. Or save up to $500 on a Tempur-Pedic Breeze mattress. And with Steinhafel's special financing, your purchase just got more affordable. Shop now in-store and online at steinhafels.com.
Choosing a treatment for your chronic migraine, 15 or more headache days a month, each lasting 4 hours or more, can be overwhelming. So ask your doctor about Botox. Botox prevents headaches in adults with chronic migraine before they even start. It's the #1 prescribed branded chronic migraine treatment. So far, more than 5 million Botox treatments have been given to over 850,000 chronic migraine patients.
Effects of Botox may spread hours to weeks after injection, causing serious symptoms. Alert your doctor right away, as difficulty swallowing, speaking, breathing, eye problems, or muscle weakness can be signs of a life-threatening condition. Side effects may include allergic reactions, neck and injection site pain, fatigue, and headache. Don't receive Botox if there's a skin infection. Tell your doctor your medical history, muscle or nerve conditions, and medications, including botulinum toxins, as these may increase the risk of serious side effects.
In a survey, 92% of current users said they wish they talked to their doctor and started Botox sooner. So ask your doctor if Botox is right for you. Learn how AbbVie could help you save on Botox.
It's Throwback Thursdays at Hy-Vee. This Thursday, Bar S Franks, only 77 cents. And Hy-Vee Butter, only $1.68. While supplies last. Thursday only. And visit HyVeeDeals.com for even more deals.
You're watching News 3 Now at 6.
If you're looking for Wisconsin's best tasting water, Menasha is the place to go. Today, they won the title of Best Tasting Water in Wisconsin at a conference at the Monona Terrace. Judges tasted water from across the state and awarded points for color, odor, and taste. The Menasha utility brings water to Menasha and the east side of the village of Fox Crossing. The water is pulled from Lake Winnebago, and about 2 million gallons are used each day.
Wisconsin utilities have a very high percentage that meet all drinking water quality standards. We're really blessed with the quantity and quality of water that we have across Wisconsin, which many states don't have and are really struggling with.
Menasha now moves on to represent Wisconsin and compete to be North America's best tasting tap water. The competition is held in Toronto in June of next year. So could we get a taste of some water in the form of rain anytime this week? Here's Julian with your complete forecast.
Well, the good news is for many of us who are tired of the rain, we don't have to worry about it until we get into the back end of the work week. But outside of that, man, it's going to feel like summer moving into our Thursday. But let's talk about today. Hazy skies outside of our sky cam from the wildfire smoke that's moved its way into the upper Midwest, and that's going to stick around for at least another day. As you can see, the flow of that wildfire smoke has made its way into the upper Midwest We're going to start to see it here in Wisconsin, especially southern Wisconsin, throughout our lunchtime hour for tomorrow. But then it will start to phase itself out by the time we get into our Friday morning, which is good news because who wants to look at a hazy sky? Now, as we get into the 3 things we're going to need to know, let's break things down for us. Outside of the haziness, we're looking at temperatures and the sunshine for the next few days to really feel like summer. We're getting a resurgence of temperatures into the 80s by the time we get into the weekend and heading into the early part of next week as well. We'll talk about that in just a moment. But we are looking at storm chances to return by the time we get into late Friday nights into our Saturday and Sunday as well. But let's talk about right now. Here's our surface map. We have the bit of that cold front which is continuing starting to move its way just east, but that easterly flow that we're getting from the north, well, we are looking at that to really be bringing in temperatures to on the cooler side for us, nearly from Madison over to the eastern side where Milwaukee is. And that's where we're looking at a bit of the disparities in terms of temperatures, but also why we are looking at a bit of moisture just hanging around as well because of that flow, carrying in a bit of that moisture for us here in southern Wisconsin, which has kept things a little humid, but nothing overly uncomfortable. Now, going into tonight's, temperatures are going to drop once again into the lower 60s. But again, that northeasterly flow coming in off of Lake Michigan is going to keep things onto the cooler side for many areas in southern Wisconsin. And until we see that wind shift, which won't start until about Thursday morning, Thursday afternoon, we're not going to be looking at much more in terms of mild temperatures until we get into the late morning hour. And that's when we're going to start to rise into those mid-60s for many of us here in southern Wisconsin. And by the time we get into the lunchtime hour, we are looking for more of that warmth to really ramp up. Upper 70s, low 80s for areas, especially just to the west, from Prairie du Chien to Lone Rock. We're going to be looking for a summer-like day for us there, but otherwise, for Madison and even for Janesville and Platteville, we're going to be looking at very mild temperatures hanging in throughout the rest of our Thursday evening and going into the Thursday night as well. Cloud cover is going to keep things rather mild overnight, and the winds are going to still be near the breezy side by the time we get into our Friday morning. Around Friday afternoon, could start to see a couple of spots of showers, but it's mainly going to be northwest. So just outside of Vernon County and for Iowa County, could see a couple of showers late, but outside of that, we're not looking for a big event until late over Friday night into our Saturday afternoon and evening and going into our Sunday morning as well. With that rain, we could be seeing about 1/4 to 1/2 of an inch around Madison and Dane County. Could see around 1/2 of an inch, but areas closer to the Illinois state line, depending on where that system and boundary sets up, could see a bit more rainfall than areas just to the central side of southern Wisconsin. Here's a look at our 10-day forecast, though. As I mentioned, temperatures are going to start to ramp up. It's going to feel a bit more like summer heading into the weekend, especially for Monday and Tuesdays. We're going to be into the lower to mid-80s. That's right. It's going to feel almost like August for us, but then it's going to be very abrupt as we head into the back end of the work week of next week, where we're going to be looking at the fall-like weather to really welcome us as we get into fall. That's going to do it for weather. Over to you guys.
All right, Julian, thank you. The finalists for the National Toy Hall of Fame class for 2022 has been selected. Among the dozen picked are some of your favorites: Light Bright, Nerf Toys, and Pound Puppies. The others are Bingo, Briar Horses, the board game Catan. I'm not really familiar with that one. You know that one? Masters of the Universe action figures. Those are Charlotte's favorites. Pinatas, Phase 10, Racco, Spirograph.
Oh, I still have my Spirograph.
And the top. How is the top just now getting? Isn't it like
I don't know.
One of the legendary toys of all time? The Hall of Fame is at the Strong National Museum of Play. That's in Rochester, New York. An advisory committee will select 3 inductees, and the public can also vote online through September 21st. Zach?
Coming up in sports, Badger volleyball preparing for the Kohl Center Classic against the Gators. Why Wisconsin says the setting going to be a little bit familiar to them. That's next on News 3 Now.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
There's just something about a place where people still know your name, who know how you take your coffee. At Capital Bank, we love all the things our bankers do that digital banking can't. Like congratulate you on your first home, help you finance that perfect vacation home, collaborate about your business goals, and personally explain financing details. Capital Bank offers convenient mobile banking for your day-to-day. But what truly sets us apart is our ability to show up for those unique moments when nothing can replace your Capital Banker. Capital Bank, tailored service, experienced bankers, locally invested.
Those brave men and women of our armed forces, generations of them. Why should today's burdens fall back onto them? They were there for us. Now let's be there for them. Your local Wisconsin energy providers and the Keep Wisconsin Warm Cool Fund are working together to deliver Wisconsin veterans in crisis heat, power, and help staying in their home. But they can't do it alone. Donate today.
By some measures, our economy is doing great. We've reached the lowest unemployment in state history. We have a record budget surplus. But there's another side, too. Rising prices for groceries, gas, and medications. Folks, that's a problem. That's why I have a plan to cap prescription drug prices, aggressively prosecute price gouging, and cut taxes by another 10% for working families. It's the right thing to do for Wisconsin and our economy.
At Prudential, we can't tell you when your kids will finally go out on their own. But we can at least make sure that when they do, you're ready. That's why millions rely on us for the rock-solid strength that helps you plan for and achieve your retirement dreams. Whichever road you take, who's your rock?
Keep bragging about your buck after the hunt with wild game processing from Johnson's Sausage Shop in Ryle, Wisconsin. Friends enjoy a hunting story more over a jalapeno cheddar stick. Johnson's Sausage Shop accepts wild game 7 days a week. First bucks in are the first brats out.
Uw-Madison week continues in the 608 on Thursday morning when we take the field and run drills with a player and coach and check out the fan zone.
And I'm still watching rain chances into the weekend. That's tomorrow morning from 4:30 to 7.
'98 was the last time a Wisconsin volleyball match has been played in the Kohl Center. That streak's going to end in 2 days when the reigning defending national champs host Florida. Now, playing in big-time environments and atmospheres is nothing new to the Badgers, but the Kohl Center Classic will have a different feel. It will be a jam-packed with Wisconsin fans, and Kelly Sheffield and company can't wait for first serve on Friday night.
You step out on that court and it feels kind of similar to a Final Four court or something like that, and I think it's awesome that we get that exposure this early in the season. And in a Final Four crowd or something like that, it tends to be a little bit more neutral, and here it's going to be all Badgers.
We're all just really excited, but once it's match time, it's match time. Volleyball is volleyball, and we're going to be us wherever we go. We're just excited that we get our home crowd here, and it's going to be electric out there.
And don't forget to tune in to tonight's Badger Blueprint. Jim Polzine and I look back at the mental mistakes made against Washington State and preview Wisconsin's matchup against New Mexico State. Randolph Volleyball has a history of success. When it comes to conference championships and regional titles, they have a lot. But there is one thing missing. As Jordan Reed found out, the Rockets want to hang a different kind of banner and make program history in the process.
16-time conference champions and 12-time regional champs. But there's something missing, a state championship.
It's everything we've ever wanted.
And with how Randolph ended their season last year, this group is even more determined to bring home the program's first title.
After we lost in sectionals last year, the next week they came up to me and wanted me to open the gym. They wanted to get in and start working on volleyball right away. And could tell that they knew that they had a chance and it was maybe stolen from them a little bit, and they wanted to make up for it, and this was going to be their year.
And they've got a lot working in their favor. It's a veteran group with strong senior leadership.
These older girls, they're expected to show the younger girls what it's like to play Randolph volleyball.
Plus a couple players who have recent experience playing in big moments.
Going to state for basketball, that experience, just that whole week with the team and just winning too, obviously made it much better.
They've gone through that now, so the nerves aren't there as much, and they're passing that on to the other girls. I think coming in this year, the experience we had from our last year and from the girls' state tournament team last year is really going to help us out in the long run.
A season that the Rockets are setting each other up to make history in. In Randolph, Jordan Reed, News 3 Sports.